Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan, saya FAULA Tanang Anugrah dari Institut Teknologi Telkom Purwokerto, program studi D3 Teknik Telekomunikasi. Saya di sini akan membawa sebuah video untuk memenuhi tugas ujian akhir semester mata kuliah metodologi penelitian. Berikut videonya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I make this presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is FAULA Tanang Anugrah, and I will have presented final project, and the title is Simulation of Software-Defined Network Concept Using OSPF Routing Protocol in Tree Topology, with supervisor is Mr. Muntako Alvin Amanov. Outline of this presentation is research background, research problems, scope of problems, research purpose, basic theory, research method, and schedule time. First, research background. The rapid development of technology caused more and more computer network use, so that often a network experience overload and crash. Technology limitations that have inconsistent or changing policies and dependence on vendors have led to new ideas for centralized network control called software-defined network. This makes researchers develop the software-defined network by using OSPF routing in the tree topology. Research problems. Some of the problems formulation of this research are how to implement the route flow-based OSPF routing protocol on SDN using tree topology. What is the performance of the OSPF routing protocol on tree topologies in software-defined network? How to use the maestro controller in the concept of software-defined network? 4. How do you configure the OpenFlow protocol so that it can be used on software-defined network? Scope of the problems. The scope of the problem of this research are to make this simulation use 5 PC and a controller. The controller uses the maestro controller as control flow and OpenFlow as the interface protocol that connects the data plane and the control plane. Research purpose. The purpose of this study is to know the application of OSPF routing protocol in the concept of SDN, to know the performance of OSPF routing protocol on the tree topology, getting the value of the QoS or quality of service parameter including throughput, jitter, and packet loss on the network, to know the determination of the path in the packet that pass through the topology has been made. Benefit of this research is expected to provide an overview of the simulation of the concept of software-defined network using the open shortest path first algorithm in the tree topology. By knowing the performance of the OSPF routing protocol in tree topology, it is expected to implement a network that can perform OSPF routing functions. This research is also expected to support various developments in the concept of software-defined network. Basic theory. Research by Rida Muldina and Rahmatullah in 2007. This study entitled Analysis of the Implementation of OSPF Algorithm Using Route Flow on Software-Defined Network, which examines the performance of OSPF routing protocol applied to SDN technology by measuring the time convergence and quality of service parameter. In the link termination scenario, increase the number of switch and background traffic. The second research is HDN infrastructure prototype with OpenFlow protocol using Ubuntu as controller. Research by Ricky Kardadi, Emma Utami, and Eko Pramono in 2014. The concept of this research is to use OpenVRT switch, which is connected directly to the controller and WireShark to monitor the OpenFlow protocol. The method used is to install OpenDialect on Ubuntu and Mininet is installed on the Linux kernel, which will be used as a user. The application of function on Ubuntu as controller use the Python language. For testing it yourself with ICMP VLAN packet delivery. Research method. Research flow. According flowchart, from the first step, study of literature. From the research for literature studies conducted by comparing the theoretical studies of the previous design and also done by finding reference. The second step is topology planning. Topology design is a process to determine how many devices will be used to implement a network with a tree topology. The third step is system planning. System design is a process to install Mininet and OpenFlow. Besides that, it also configures the software so that the system in the HDN architecture can be run. Then, testing based on parameter. If there is an error in testing parameter, the system design will be redone until the test is successful. And it is successful, the result of the data will be made immediately based on the test. Topology planning. In this topology design, research will use a tree topology consisting of 3 open switch, 5 client pitches, and a master controller. System planning. The system design starts with the installation of software used such as OpenVSwitch and Mininet. Then configure the controller and switch, and finally do the testing. How the simulation works procedure. In the OpenFlow switch section is divided into 2 parts, namely the switch agent and the data plane. The switch agent translates when it receives a notification from the data plane and then sends it to the controller, while the data plane functions to carry out the process of forwarding. In the forwarding process, there are 2 types, namely reactive forwarding and proactive forwarding. The working principle of the switch and on OpenFlow in reactive forwarding is that when receiving data packet of an unknown destination, a message will be sent to controller to ask for the next instruction via a packet in message. At the time the controller learns how the switch is connected and information on controller is shared to the flow table on the switch. So sending the same data on the next turn doesn't need to involve the controller anymore. For this type of proactive forwarding has a way of working similar to the routing table on the router, where all traffic addresses have been stored before the packet from particular traffic is received. Testing parameter. Parameters in this research include bandwidth, QoS, including delay or jitter, packet loss, and access list. Schedule time. For literature review, For literature review, activities carried for 2 months, and problem identification carried 2 months, and topology planning carried 2 months, and system planning carried 3 months. Making a research center report carried for 4 months, and simulation testing and improvement carried for 3 months, and retrieval of data result carried for 3 months, and then final report carried for 2 months. So, is that the presentation from me? Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Demikian video presentasi dari saya. Apabila terdapat banyak kesalahan, mohon dimaafkan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.